All information given in this episode is for educational purposes and should not be tried prior to consulting a licensed physician and or certified state or accrediting bodies. We encourage all listeners to research, talk, and make all inquiries to all of the important professionals and governing bodies before acting on any information heard on the De La Fit podcast. Any action taken by any listener is done by and under their own omission and action, whether conscious to the results, positive or not.
To the De La Fit Podcasts, 360 degrees of holistic fitness and health, all in one podcast.
Salutations and proclamations. It is I, it is you, it is us, it is we. Together we make up the digital family that is the De La Fit Podcast. I'm your host, Philly's #1 son, aka the Body Alchemist, Sun Moon Bay, bringing you another podcast excursion. Welcome one, welcome all, and happy post 4th of July to all of you out there. I hope you enjoyed your holiday, celebrating with friends, family, and getting out there, probably eating plenty of barbecue or maybe just traveling to the beach. I myself decided to take a trip to the movies. I went to a specific movie house that serves food. I wanted to kind of get the experience because I had heard about it. I had been told a lot of good things and I was like, okay, cool, awesome. I'm a big movie buff for anybody out there that's listening. And I love Marvel movies. You know, I'm a big comic book person and I wanted to watch the new Spider-Man movie that just came out. I saw the Avengers movies, which I thought were just pure awesome. # pure awesome. And I was just really excited to see this new Marvel movie, to see the whole Spider-Man situation, because that's one of my favorite superheroes. So I decided I wasn't going to go to my typical theater. I was going to go to, we'll just call it the undisclosed theater that, you know, they serve food. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And this theater, they serve food at your specific seat. So I was very excited because I heard all these cool things and stories, and I went online and they have these type of theaters in different places. So I was like, okay, cool, it's going to be awesome. And I built it up in my head what it was going to look like, which is something that you should never just do. You should always do more research. But I had been told about this by a lot of people and they said it's really cool. So what I did was I was like, all right, it's 4th of July. I'm going to take my time. You know, I'm not going to do my normal thing because normally I'll take a day trip out of the state and go somewhere else. So what I did was basically I took an Uber over to this select theater, which again will remain nameless, the Anonymous Theater. And again, in my head, I was like, okay, I'm so excited. It's going to be really cool. The movie starts at 2:30. I got there about 1:45 and, you know, they were still cleaning it. So I had previewed the menu online, which was awesome. They had plenty of vegetarian and vegan options, which I really liked. They had a hummus plate, which was really good. The only thing about the hummus plate was that I didn't notice, or perhaps I missed it, that it comes with bread and the bread comes with cheese. But they gave you options. You can always opt to have the cheese not on there and things like that. I just missed that. So fortunately for me, though, the vegetables that come with it, those come kind of separate. So the cheese and nothing, you know, kind of intermingle. The hummus was delicious. It was excellent. And I have to really say, you know, whoever prepared the hummus or wherever they got it from was delicious. The vegetables were fresh. So that was awesome. And with the exception of the cheese on that bread, which I was able to push that to the side, everything was delicious. They also had a black bean burger, which was okay. You know, it wasn't to my taste, but it was okay. So I had that and some French fries. But I had it all built up in my mind what this whole seating arrangement was going to look at. So in my mind, I built it up that it was a large theater with booths. You know, like when you go to a restaurant, like there's a certain table and things like that, and you're kind of like, you know, private or something like that. Or if you have a large group, you know, you can sit at a specific booth. This wasn't like that. So, you know, instantly they clean it up. They say we can go upstairs. I go upstairs. I'm so excited. I'm like, ooh, it's my first time here. I've heard all these good things. I go in and I'm immediately, well, one, I got to go find my seat. I find my seat. I'm looking. All right. So B1. I find my seat and I'm not really paying attention to what the seats look like. I'm just trying to find my seat. So I find my seat and then I'm like, all right, great. I found it. And I look and then I'm like, it's nothing but movie seating, but with what looks like almost a little tablet that's attached to it. So if you can imagine, in my mind, it's almost like high school or school seating. So you have a desk at your, your chair and at your desk. Remove that high school chair that's attached to the desk and put the movie chair there. And I don't mean those really nice movie chairs, the ones that kind of like recline and, you know, you can press the button and sit back and you're like, ooh, this is really nice and plush, like some theaters have. It's kind of like, you know, it's like just your chair, you know, and you're like, you know, this is a little table. So I was a little disappointed. Plus the closeness of how close I was to the person sitting next to me. So think of it this way. You go to a movie, you decide, you know, you're going to eat. And they're like, we're going to serve you your meal at your assigned seating where you're going to watch the movie. And then you have a stranger sitting right next to you, you know, as if it's not awkward. And maybe I'm just awkward when you go to a theater and you're sitting down and you're kind of like next to people you don't know. But it's awkward. It's make it more awkward, when you're having almost like a full course meal and there's a person sitting next to you that you totally don't know. And I'm kind of like, really? You know, so I don't know, you know, that kind of let me down right there. But that was that experience. But overall, the movie was great. The food was pretty good. The hummus plate was the best. The burger was But, and the fact that it was really interesting is the fact that they do give you your check an hour before the movie is up. Imagine you're in the middle of a Marvel movie and it's like the hour, you know, an hour before it ends. You know how all the hype gets all hyped up and you're ready and you're like, oh man, this is really getting good. And then somebody comes in and stands in front and is like, excuse me, sir, here's your bill. It's like, what? Excuse me? Huh? Did Peter Parker just fall? What? So, with that being said, you know, I thought it was pretty good. It was all right experience. I don't think it wasn't a horrible experience, but I don't think I'll be going to said this undisclosed location for that again. It was just okay. Not because I don't think the experience can't be great, but I think that they can do it a little bit better. But anyway, that was my 4th of July experience. After that, I went and visited some family and friends, and we just had a great old time and chilling out with my niece, watching her play and roll on the floor and show me her dance moves because she started dance class. So I had an overall great time, came back home, chilled out, watched some of the fireworks in the neighborhood, and it was great. So, you know, everything really turned out pretty cool, and I hope everybody else had a desirable 4th of July. So, we have a great show for you this week. We're going to be getting back on topic. We talked about weight loss 2 weeks ago, and I've had more people inquire and ask questions about weight loss. So, myself and a good friend of mine, Miss Brittany Noel, have come together to create what we feel is the ultimate weight loss principle guidelines for you. We had a great conversation, as we always do when we get together. It's always wacky because I think the two of us together are separate. We're awkward and wacky in our own rights, but together we are awkward and wacky multiplied. But I think it's going to be a great podcast for everybody out there listening who wants to learn about losing weight. We were going to have the trainer's trainer join us, but unfortunately we couldn't get him for this particular podcast. He has mentioned a few times, but just couldn't do it this week. But it was Brittany and I who actually held down the fort with this conversation. So I hope you will enjoy this podcast today. I thank you all for tuning in, as you always do. You know that you're here at home whenever you tune into the De La Fit podcast. You know, it's just kind of like, I want you all to feel like you're walking into a place that's very familiar when you tune into the podcast. I want you to feel like when you put on your earphones and, you know, your earbuds or whatever it is, or you turn it up in the car, that you just walked into a familiar place and that you're feeling really good. You know what I mean? I want you to feel like everybody knows your name. I want you to feel like it's home. You know, like everybody's there that you know. Like Norm and all of the other cool people. I don't know. I was thinking about doing something cool right there, people, but I'm not going to do it. I was going to have like the whole Cheers theme play in the background and all the other cool stuff. Whatever. Anyway, you're home with the with the De La Fit podcast. I hope you enjoy it. Kick your feet up, relax. We'll be back soon. Hey, you with the earbuds in their ear. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? When I was trying to get my podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. I like to upload my episodes directly to the app and then promote. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it. Go to anchor.fm/start to join me in the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Salutations and proclamations. It's Philly's #1 son, aka the Body Alchemist, Sun Moon Bay, host of the De La Fit podcast, letting you know that you can now tune in from some of your favorite platforms. That's right, iTunes lovers, Google Play Music listeners, and Spotify addicts. Simply to tune in, go to the search section in your favorite platform and type in De La Fit podcast. We haven't forgotten about you too, YouTube lovers or SoundCloud floaters. It's the same thing. Go to your favorite app or platform and type in the search menu, De La Fit podcast.
You're now tuned in to the De La Fit podcast.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of the De La Fit podcast. You know how we do. We always bring back guests, and I always have a core group of people that I love to join me on the show. We're always trying to bring the best and brightest. And I've got a really good friend of mine, a really good person who has rocked out with the De La Fit podcast almost from the very beginning. And we're going to have some conversation. I have the wonderful, the amazing Miss Brittany Noel. She is with us. Brittany, what's up?
What up?
You know, that slight pause, I was like, she did it again. She just hung up on the phone.
I did.
She does this to me every time, people. She's like, watch this. Watch it freak out.
It's going to disappear. Bye.
No. But we're going to have a conversation. I know typically when Brittany's here, we have specific questions. And don't get it twisted, listeners. We've got questions. But one question that I've been continuously getting within training and emails and letters and people that I know coming up to me and approaching me and things like that. And I'm sure Brittany gets the same. A lot of my friends who are personal trainers and who have been in the field for a long time, we get this, excuse me, this constant question, which is how to lose fat. How to lose fat. We've done, what, Brittany? I think we've done we've done a few shows together. And you know, it's been a few, and I think a big topic we constantly are getting hit with is the fact of losing weight. So this is going to be the super show of losing weight, and we're gonna do a little differently. We're gonna do the KISS version, the keep it simple version, because I feel people just get. They get all confused and befuddled, and they're like, "Oh man, I gotta mix my macros with my that's right, befuddled and clouded. And I gotta mix my macros with my nutrients, and I gotta get my whey protein, and I don't know." And then they go out and buy a bunch of stuff, and it just sits there, and they're just like, "Well, I've got plant-based products, and then I've got this whey protein, but I don't want to mix it with the plant, and I don't know if I could, what's going on." So we're gonna talk about it. Kind of things you experience with this topic. This is a topic you get hit with a lot. Am I correct?
It is, and it's a favorite topic to talk about because no one wants to believe your answer. Like the amount of times I've been asked, "How do you lose fat?" And then I tell someone, like the big secret. Then I spend another 10 minutes of them telling me why, like, what I said doesn't make sense. Now they heard from someone else that they should be doing this. You know, it's a conversation. Like this is how it goes. Then how do I lose fat? Well, first of all, I need you to tell me how many calories you're having. You're not eating enough calories. Well, no, I can't eat that many calories because I'm going to get fat. You're not. No, you're not, because you're putting your body into starvation mode right now, so it's holding back. Well, my body's a little bit different because when I eat like this, I get big. Okay, let's connect to your body. Yeah. Okay. Well, what are the things that you're eating a lot of? Cake. You're going to have cravings things. Like, I don't think it's the calories per se. I think it's more what you're doing with those calories. That's one version. Or I'll tell somebody, you should eat every 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours, because it helps your metabolism. And I'll use get back to you. Well, what about fasted cardio? That's the next one. I'm going to have a conversation about that. So, from what I know as a professional science-based thing, like I had mentioned, the first thing is you need to make sure you have the right amount of calories. If a calorie deficit, your body is going to hold that, and it's going to be more likely to burn your carbs and your muscle, because your muscle is composed of protein, and it's going to store the fat, because fat is your most precious energy source. It's the thing that can last you longest. And that's why, like, cavemen, we're a little more girthy. That's why, like, bears are fat, or any sort of animal that hibernates stores fat, because that is what we need to survive. So in order to trick your body into not wanting to keep the fat, you need to make sure that you're getting a certain amount of calories. Also, with that tricking in, you also need to make sure that you're eating good fat. And if your body is getting good fat, I mean things like avocado, olive oil, any sort of nut, fish oils. These are all the types of fats that your body likes to take in, and they help to reduce your cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, and reduce the good cholesterol. We can talk about that later. But the more good fat you have in, the more likely your body is to kick out the bad fat. That kind of confuses people too. They think like, well, if I'm trying to lose fat, why am I eating fatty things? You need to trick your body. So eat more fat. But again, you want to balance. So about a third of your diet is coming from carbs, a third from protein, a third from good fat for the average individual. And then the other thing, once we get enough calories, we're getting some calories from fat, you want to eat every 2 to 4 hours. Because again, your body wants to know that you're not starving. And the more you're giving it small doses of food, the more likely you're going to be to lose the fat. Now, beyond that, you can pretty much adapt your diet to work for whatever your lifestyle is. So if you are a person that notices that certain foods make you gain weight or certain foods do not, then hold on a second. Oh, sorry,
I'm so glad that just happened, because I'm just saying, because while you're busy saying this information, people just start blowing up my phone. I'm like, really? Really? During the podcast? Really? Half y'all normally sleep.
I was yes, literally just like, I've just parked my car on the side of the road to be like, I won't be the way. Okay, sorry, anyway.
And we're keeping this, people. We're keeping this.
Oh, awesome. All right.
This is real.
Everybody wants.
Wow, did somebody just run up to your car?
Okay. No, I turned the car back on and then the car speaker picks up my voice instead of my new fancy headphones. So you wouldn't be able to hear me.
That part we might edit out, people. Just that part.
They were like, man, Brittany was so professional. And then, well, what happened?
Like, what?
You're getting all the tea.
Now, I gotta say this for everybody. I'm sure all of you all like it. You know, the show is a little different today. But the reason we're giving it to you like this is that, honestly, Brittany and I have conversations via text. All right, just like Jeffrey Snyder, the trainer's trainer, and he'll be on also later in the podcast. The reason we're giving it to you like this is because we kind of want you to hear a little different side. Like, typically when you listen to the podcast and we have professionals on and we're talking about things, it's very...
Are you saying I'm not professional? Goodness.
Not at all, Brittany. Not at all. No, but typically when we set it up, you know, it's a very presentation-esque type of podcast. You know, you all out there, you hit us with the question. Either I answer it or we talk about a topic and Brittany answers it. We go in and then we come out. But we want you all to kind of hear a little bit differently because I think we both kind of feel that most people have this confusion about how to lose fat. And it's because of all the information that's put out there. And it's a lot of information, and some of it's good, and some of it's specific for different individuals. Like Brittany was saying, in order to kick your body to that gear of burning fat, pick up eating a certain amount of calories. The other thing that I want to piggyback on what Brittany is saying is the fact of what you're eating. You're not going to do it if your snack is potato chips.
That's not the good fat.
That's not the good fats, you know?
Or, I hear this one a lot. Recently, I've been hearing this from my nutrition clients. They'll say, I felt bad because I over-snacked in the office. I got that bag of potato chips. So I felt like to escape the fact that I ate that bag of potato chips, I just decided to not eat my lunch. So instead, I just kept snacking on things, and then I skipped dinner. I figured that balanced everything out since I went over with the snack at work.
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't really work that way. Like, yes, applaud you for trying to think of the overall calories. Like, yeah, but again, you're not really giving your body the right nutrients. So now it's just storing the potato chip fat and burning every other stuff. And then since you probably overall still didn't get the amount of calories you're supposed to get because you snacked on 3 bags of chips and pretzels instead of having, your lean protein and vegetables, it's like a double whammy to your system. Not only are you starving still, but then you fed it nutrients that you can't really process.
Brittany, could you say the word nutrients one more time?
Nutrients?
Yes, I appreciate that because I feel that that's something individuals don't know about. And you hit something, you started something when you were talking about when you start a conversation with individuals. I like the same thing because I get this too. I get people ask me, you know what? Same question. I really want to lose fat. How do I? First things first, always get the point to the stomach. How do I lose this? How do I lose this? And I'm like...
Or you get the pushy stomach where they go, it's hard. I don't understand. My stomach is hard, but I can't lose it.
Exactly.
It's called visceral fat, guys. It's called visceral fat.
I'm like, hey, I look at him, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, so first of all, the sign language is the first thing that gets me. All right, the sign language. And I don't want anybody out there to think we're making fun. But the thing of it is individuals will come and they'll ask questions and they will instantly then answer their question. That's something that is... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's a frustrating thing when you're a professional because it's like you're coming to me to ask me my professional opinion and health, but you want to tell me what your non-professional opinion is or what you heard from your other non-professional friends.
Exactly.
We get frustrated and then we just want to listen to you vent. And then we're just kind of like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yep.
Feel better?
And that's thank you. It's literally what takes place. Now, I know there are some individuals we come in contact with that are heavy researchers. And you know what? May the Creator bless you because not many people research. Not many people research. But the thing of it is this. If you're asking a question, try to keep your specific goal in mind. Because many people will come ask the question about how do I lose this fat, but their goal is to be lean and be bulky. Now that might sound very, very strange You know, and I'm sure, Brittany, right now, you've got this look on your face like, that's perplexing. You know, and this is for all my trainer friends. I'm sure you all are laughing because, you know, you're all on the floor like, yep, that's what happens. And for all of you listening out there, the thing of it is that this, again, we're not making fun, but it's not as difficult as you think it is. At the same time, you're going to have to trust the process. You're going to have to trust the process. I've had people come to me, Brittany, because I did intermittent fasting. I liked it. It was great. I saw the benefits of it. It's not for everyone. I'm saying that right now. So if you're coming to, say, Brittany, if you're coming to myself, if you're coming to Jeff, Jeffrey, when he gets on to the show, you know, he's talking, if you're coming to any trainer and you're saying, well, I tried this and I tried that, but you did them at the same time, which is something else.
Yes. Entirely. like I get, so with the intermittent fasting, it does work for some people, but what people don't understand is that people that do intermittent fasting, they've been doing it for a while, and it's something that they intend to stick to for like a long while or as a lifestyle type of thing.
Exactly.
It's not something, I'll hear people that said, I intermittent fast Monday through Friday, and then on the weekend, when I'm partying with my friends, I just eat whatever I want and drink a lot. And I don't understand. My body seems to be getting really mad at me. Like, I'll gain a lot of weight over the weekend and then lose it. And I'm like, well, yeah, because that's not how you're supposed to do it. Or
you're not.
I've had other people that said, I'm intermittent fasting and I'm doing the keto diet at the same time.
I was waiting for you to say that. Please, please, take it.
Keto and intermittent fasting. But then that's Monday through Friday during my work week. But on the weekend, you know, I just want to do what I want to do, and I'm not really getting the results that I want.
Woo.
And that's when we have this conversation of like, you're really putting your body in this very polarizing, you know, situation where it's getting adapted to something, and then you're throwing it out of the water, and that consequently is putting you in a really bad state in terms of losing weight, gaining weight, making it harder to lose body fat. So it's not that any of these concepts are necessarily wrong, but you need a quick one, stick to it for a long amount of time so you can really evaluate how your body is reacting to it. And if it's reacting good, you have to then have the fortitude to stick with it, because that's the other conflict. People will be like, oh, I did Whole30, I felt great for 30 days, and the next day I ate, you know, 2 donuts and a cinnamon roll. Well, you can't do that.
Consistency.
Free.
That's right.
Like, please do Whole30 free, but please understand that if you saw the results you wanted and you liked it, you now need to make that decision that this is just how you eat 90% of the time is on Whole30.
Yes.
You can't just be like, I did Whole30 from a Vegas trip, went to Vegas, had a bunch of vodka, a couple Jell-O shots, a whole lot of candy, and now I'm back on the trigger. It just,
man.
These are part of these true stories, guys. Like, I'm not making them. These are real, you know, there's people that I've encountered, and again, we're not making fun of them. They're just people that don't have all of the facts.
Exactly.
So just trying to help you guys from falling into those same pitfalls, because it's a common thing, and we're just here to try to help you guys get better.
And that's it. That's really what it is. I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, this is, I think, also part venting, part this is part venting.
You have to lose fat. Not about your opinions on keto and intermittent fasting.
Which is true, but Brittany, I'm so glad to have you on for the show. I wish I could have did it sooner, but I think the thing of it is, again, she's hit the nail squarely on the head. Keep it simple. Yes, there's a variety of information out there. Yes, the internet is amazing. Yes, it is a great tool when used properly, but if you're going to do it, stick to something, and it has to be part of your lifestyle. The one thing majorly with anything, whether you're bulking, or I should say putting on mass for those who are novices to this type of conversation, putting on lots of muscle mass or trying to lose fat, the thing of it is that you have to be consistent, and you have to make it a part of your lifestyle. If you're just jumping on this because you have a reunion or you just for a wedding or something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you have to understand that a lot of these programs that people are journeying to try, like keto or intermittent fasting, or even I've seen people come to me and be like, hey, I want to lose some weight. And I think they say being vegan is the best way to do it. I'm like, wait. No. You're talking about lifestyle versus...
Wait, we had the conversation about the unhealthy vegan. The guy that was 800 pounds and a vegan. I had that conversation with you, right?
Oh my gosh, no, but I know where you're going with it because I've seen it so many times.
I met a man and he was 800 pounds.
Wow.
So he had gotten down from 800 pounds to 300 pounds.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, I got up to 800 pounds, but I'm a vegan. But when he went vegan, all he did was eat pasta and vegan cheese. And he just ate so much vegan cheese and pasta and bread, and he gained a ton of weight because he didn't understand kind of the best thing to eat while vegan. So he stuck to a lot of the processed, less healthy things and gained a lot of weight. So yeah, just because you're vegan doesn't mean that you are healthy. You have to still do your due diligence and research to understand like your macro balances and the difference between processed things and not so processed things. Yeah,
it is not. I'm so glad you mentioned this, Brittany, because I did a show about maybe 2 months ago because some very popular YouTubers who were vegan, they went back to eating a flesh or meat-based diet, and their argument was the fact that I'm not getting enough nutrients. And many of people who are in the vegan community were like, that's because you didn't know what the hell you were doing.
Right. You can definitely get all your nutrients on a plant-based diet, but you have to do research. You can't just up and be like, I'm being vegan now and have vegan protein. And like, there's people that are successful vegans and that, really have made the choice because of health purposes or just moral purposes. They actually understand like the science behind it, and they know exactly like what foods are going to give them what, and like there's special combinations of like legumes and vegetables that you need to eat to give you the same amino
acid profile.
Profile as meat. I was like, ooh, did I say that right?
No, you said, I got you.
Minimums.
Your minimums. Those things you eat.
So,
and you're right. You said the perfect word. It is a science. Now, for many of you that have listened in before, and anytime I have Jeff on here, the trainer's trainer, one thing he says is that exercise is not an exact science. I agree, and I don't agree to a point. I think that nutrition, exercise, no matter what you're doing, I don't care if it's calisthenics, I don't care if it's powerlifting, bodybuilding, whatever it is a science. Just like Brittany said, you have to do your research and you have to figure out what individualistically works for you. It is not a microwave. This is not a microwave, people. It is
a oven, not even a convection oven. It's an old school fire pit right here.
He said it's not even a convection oven. I am done. I am done. Hit me with the skeleton emoji. She said it is not even a convection oven. You know what? With that,
she did all the real people. She's like a Stone Age pie that grandma had. Put some coals in the oven. Cook it.
You know what? I can't with you. With that, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna talk more about this fact. You know what? I can't with you. I can't.
Hey, De La Fit Podcast listeners. Want to share your opinions, give feedback, or tell me what you're thinking? Send me a voice message. Voice messages are an easy way for you to send me audio that might end up in a future episode of the De La Fit Podcast. They're the latest feature from Anchor, the platform I use to make this podcast. Here are some of the things I'd like to hear from you. Questions you may have for me, future topics, and or types of guests you would like us to reach out to. You can send me a voice message right now. from wherever you're listening. Just tap the link in my show notes. I can't wait to hear from you.
It's time for another podcast excursion. Join us. We are the Della Fit Podcast.
We had to take a quick pause for a commercial with that because when Brittany hit me with the whole this is not a convection of it, I just lost it. I was done over here, people. I was done. I was a done bun. I had to chill for a second.
Done bun.
Oh my god! All right, we're gonna actually try to get into we're gonna actually try to get into some simple steps for you out there, for you individuals who are like, no, I'm serious. I want to lose weight. I'm ready to change my perspective and and my lifestyle. All right, so I'm going to start with one of the principles because I have a 4-part principle that I've adapted, Brittany, for people who approach me. So I'm going to start with my first part, which is don't go right into the gym. For a lot of people, this is one thing I always hear. They're like, you know what? I'm thinking of getting a gym membership. And I will say this, said it before. Just because you are ready to lose weight and you want to become active, because some people they're just not as active as they want to be. I would say don't go immediately into the gym because, one, things are different. Maybe 10 years ago, you could go to a gym, you could pay your money, and then if you decide not to go, what would take place is you just didn't have to go back. It's a little different. Gyms are businesses. They are out there to make money. I love the gym environment. I was raised around it. It's awesome to me, but for everybody, it's not necessary. So the first thing I tell individuals, Brittany, is I say, try to find an activity that you like or go back to an activity that you like that was positive and it was active. That could be dancing, that could be walking, that could be riding a bike, that could be swimming. Start there. Because once you start with an activity that you like, 9 out of 10, you are going to continue that activity. If you like going to the club because DJ plays your favorite song and they got all those cool things in there and you like, yeah, this is my life, you gonna go to the club. Well, same thing works. If you like walking, if you like biking, if you like anything that is active and is positive, 9 out of 10, you are going to continue doing it. And that is one of the best ways to start. Use that first building block to start yourself to getting fit. And that's what I typically tell a lot of people who want to start being active and start to lose weight. What about yourself? What would be a core principle that you would normally share?
I usually say, kind of along the same line, pick an exercise that you know you can do no matter what, no matter how tired you are. So what is the one thing that you know, no excuses, you can get done every day? So like for me, mine is running. I can go downstairs on the treadmill and run a mile no matter how tired I am. Mm-hmm. Or I will do squats in the house, just like sitting down on my couch and standing up because it's functional and easy. So, and yeah, same thing. Like it could be jump roping if you're into that. It could be lunges. It could be dancing, any of that stuff. Find something that you're like, no excuses, I can get this done no matter if the kid is running around, no matter if I'm dead tired, if I have a deadline, whatever.
Yeah, that's some great advice. I mean, if you pick an exercise, like for me, I guess it would be push-ups. Push-ups or pull-ups. You know, and for everybody that watches my Instagram, I like pull-ups. It is a great strength exercise.
Pull-ups.
Yes, I do. Trying to get those wings so I can fly, baby. But no, don't hate on the wings.
Never.
But no, I think that's great, you know, because you're right. Once you pick an exercise, make no excuses behind it. First of all, it becomes a part of your life. You're just doing it. It's a great way to become active. Build upon it. My number 2 principle that I like to tell individuals is tighten up the diet. I don't tell them to throw all their cookies out. You know, I used to be real hard. Like a friend of mine used to come to me and be like, "You remember when you used to tell people to stop eating that horrible meat, and you damn near slapped it out their hand?" I said, first of all, I never ever slapped it out their hand. Okay, never happened. Okay.
Angrily being like,
that's right. At one point, I used to be the angry vegan. I did used to be the angry vegan people. Get that. Use the pork chop? Get that out of here. But I've learned.
It's doing impossible. Yeah.
I've learned I'm a kinder, more gentler son now, okay? So, just pick it with me.
Disrespect. You gotta
give me that goddamn chicken.
Give me that goddamn steak.
The people out there listening like, please, stick with the principles. I'll say tighten.
My bad.
Tighten up the diet. Just tighten it. Meaning that we tend to be very, very comfortable in what it is we eat. Whether you're vegan, whether you are pescatarian, whatever it is that your diet is, we tend to be very comfortable. We like to eat the same comfort foods. We like to eat the same things, even if they're healthy. So what I would say is, instead of getting all the pressure on yourself and you're like, man, I love those cakes right there, man. I love those cakes. This is what I'll say to you. Why not pick a fruit or pick a vegetable or something that you know is healthy, that you like, and swap that bad snack out that day. Swap it out. You know, it's no pressure. It's something that you can kind of learn to do. And at the same time, what takes place is that you're opening yourself up to a world of more healthy foods. So what takes place is now your diet is starting to open up. And again, you can start to build on top of that. And the first part of that was find a way to go back and be active, pick something that you like. Second, at that point, tighten up the diet. Add Brittany's principle in there, which is the fact of, pick an exercise that you can do anywhere, which I really like that. I think that is awesome right there. It's an awesome thing to add into that because it keeps you active at any point and any time. What would be a second one for you, Brittany?
I teach people habits, crystal habits.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say find one thing that you can change every week to get it a little bit better. So like way back when I was younger, I used to drink a lot of sodas, like, most average Americans did. And I was getting a lot of acne. With being a teenager, having acne is not bad. And I was trying to deal with acne, so I was really trying to get better. So I just started small with all right, I'm going to replace my soda with tea. So with the soda to tea, then I replaced it from sweet tea to unsweetened tea. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, well, every time I'm eating a meal, I'm going to have water with my meal. I can still have, tea if I'm just craving another taste, but at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm going to have water. I'm going to get more water in my system.
Right.
And now that has evolved to, I pretty much just only drink water. I drink it at all my meals. I have a water bottle with me. If I do crave like an unsweetened tea taste, that happens maybe once a week or so.
Right.
So that's just another way of showing that, doing a small habit, over time, your body will start to adjust to that, and then you can go the next step further.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Something like, hey, I normally go to the deli and I get the sandwich. Maybe this week I'm going to get whole wheat bread. And then maybe the next week you're like, all right, maybe I'm going to get extra lettuce on my sandwich. And I'm going to take, a little less mustard on it. And every week you just kind of work on how you can make that sandwich a little bit better. So maybe you're at a point where you're like, well, I don't really need the bread. Now I just have, lettuce and the meat and whatever other vegetables, and your plate starts to look a little bit different. And everybody is a little bit better. It's going to look different depending on what your goals are and what you find to be good. But that's what makes it awesome, is that you're just customizing it towards your own lifestyle and your own opinion of what a little bit better is to you.
I couldn't have said it any better myself, especially like the way you're breaking it down with a specific meal. Because again, I think many people, we start this thing up and we're just like, we're going to lose weight, or we're going to do this, we're going to do it, so we're going to do it today. It doesn't work that way. It's not happening. You didn't get to where you were in over a night. These are things that took place over time. over a lot of time. And I think, how long does it take to make something a habit, Brittany? I think it's 300 times?
It takes 300 times, or we like to say it takes 30 days. It takes 30 days to be doing something consistently. That's why a lot of these programs that we call it are 30-day programs, because that is how long it effectively takes your body to break an old habit and start to learn a new habit. And that's what people don't understand too, is that 30 days is just breaking your old habit. You need another 30 days to rebuild a new habit. That's where a lot of programs have a disconnect, is to get you off of the bad habits, and they don't have an effective way of reintroducing a new habit to you in that following time period. Because so many people are so fixated on the 30-day mark, they're not seeing it as like, no, there's actually a 30, 60, 90 day mark.
That's right.
Like, oh, no, that's too much for them to think about. They're like, 9 days, outrageous, which is why what people tend to think about 30 days, but then after the 30 days, they go into this limbo of like, what do I do now? They don't think out 60. It's scary.
It's frustrating for us as trainers, and it's frustrating for you, the listeners out there who are trying to lose weight, because again, it's the microwave habit. It's the easy access. I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to be fabulous in just 2 easy workouts. It's not that way. It's not that way.
The best thing you can do for yourself is rationalize to yourself that the change that you're going to do is not going to be a quick change. However, once you change, it's going to last forever. So it's going to be a lot of work at the beginning to just kind of sit up there and post for the rest of your life, versus people that want to do a little bit of work and then drop all the way down, and then do a lot of work and drop all the way down. You're going to be on this roller coaster. And so instead of being on a roller coaster the rest of your life, you can just get the stamina to go up this hill this one time and be on flat land the rest of your life.
Right.
So it does take a little more work initially, but like I can say personally, I'm sure this happened to a lot of people, when you look back and you're like, man, I wish I knew how to do this exercise. And when you think about how much time you spent thinking about doing it, you realize that if you would have done it a little bit every week, you could do it. Like for the last 2 years, I've been like, I would do a handstand. When I completely have the strength, the core ability to do a handstand, I just feel uncomfortable in the position, so I don't practice it. And I don't like that I don't get to see the progress super fast. And every time I'm like, if I would have just started this 2 years ago, I would be like a handstand champ. If it was yoga, if I would have just done yoga since I started training 8 years ago, man, I'd be like, not a yoga master, but I'd be really good at yoga. There's just little things like that at the time you're like, I don't want to do this. This is a lot. But if I would have done it, it would have been just a habit that I have now. It would have been just intuitive, strength or flexibility, like the other workout habits that I had.
I think you're knocking at the door of what's really going on. We're not just speaking from out of our asses. We have tried these things. Brittany has tried the science that she teaches people. I have tried the science that I've taught people. We're not just saying these things because they sound good. They teach us these in these courses. Yeah, they teach us, but the thing of it is that we have actually put them in play. And it's not the TV version, movie version. Do millennials even know what a montage is anymore?
I think so. I know. Yeah, they're not really making montages with new movies.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore.
Wait, maybe, was there a montage in Avengers? There might have been.
Was there? I think kind of. I don't know, but Google for you millennials out there. Yeah, Google that. M-O-N-Tage. M-O-N-T-A-G-E. I think. Spelling is not my best.
Millennials will say, Siri, Google montage.
Or Google, what's a montage? You know what? There was a movie that had a montage. That was Creed. Creed had montages in it. Go back to Creed. Look at that. Yeah.
Was it back from when his daddy was fighting?
Yeah, there was like a whole bunch when Rocky was training him. They're like, you're losing topic. You're losing focus, people. So let's go. Third principle. The third principle would be The third principle would be book time for yourself. You have to make the time for yourself. This is for a lot of really busy parents and just go-getters out there, hard workers, or just people you're like, look, I got to survive. I got to put food on my table. I got to eat. Listen, if you will get up at 4 a.m. to go to work, yeah, it's rough. If you'll get up at 4 a.m. on a cold-ass day, an East Coast cold-ass day with snow on the ground, get in your car or catch a bus to go to work, you can get up and do something that you like to do that makes you feel good. You can get up and dance or walk or do something. You can find the time. Because if your whole mindset is the fact of, I got to go to work so I can make money, then you need to put that same mindset in your head, which is, you know what? I need to get up and I need to do this for me. Because I can't go to work if I feel like shit. That I can't say it any more plain. You have to book that time for yourself. Brittany, what would be a fourth one for you?
Fourth one, I like to teaching people to do more gratitude-based things. Just being like, hey, I was, grateful for the time I did get to work out today, or I was grateful for being able to go to the gym if you did, or, I'm grateful for those extra 2 reps or something like that, because I feel like the more that you kind of give credit to yourself and the more that you take the time to recognize what you're doing right, it helps you to negate all of the negative feelings that you have. So if you can just be grateful for the certain positive things, like maybe you step on the scale and you're like, all right, scale didn't budge today, but I'm grateful that I used it in practice when I did a squat. Or, I was able to get a little bit more depth in my lunges today. Or, I did abs today without my abs training.
I like that.
It's little things.
You know what? You're right, because I don't think we thank ourselves. Wow. I don't think we give ourselves the appreciation nearly enough for the things that we're trying to do.
People are super hard on themselves. They'll be like, oh, dang, I didn't go to the gym today, or, oh, dang, I wanted to spend 2 hours working out, but I only got 30 minutes in, or, I didn't have the energy for that last set, I gave up at this point, and they focus so much on the negative that it starts to wear them down, and they don't want to try anymore.
Yeah, you're right. I totally hadn't even put that in my head. I mean, just me thinking about myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty hard on myself. It's like, go all the time. And you can't just go all the time. That's just not how the balance of life is meant to work. That's why we throw ourselves out of whack,
Or one of the things that I see the most is people have this huge view that they have to have a certain amount of time to work out. Like some people are like, oh, if I don't have an hour to work out, it's not worth it. And some people think that like if they don't kill themselves in the gym, like if they're not pouring sweat or out of breath, or if they're not super sore, they're like, it's not really worth it. Because people have this all or nothing viewpoint of fitness that like, or they're like, I gotta go to the gym 5 times a week and be super clean and run every day. And like,
no pain, no gain. The no pain, no gain thought, yeah.
Exactly. So then it's like either they get to their goal and they're so exhausted afterward that they do nothing for months, or that thought gets so daunting that they just stop in the middle of it. And it's like getting people to understand that, like, no, you don't need an hour a day to work out. Is it optimal? Absolutely. But even if you can just go in and do 15 minutes, that's better than nothing. Like, I actually had to start convincing myself of that, because I usually spend about 2 hours at the gym between all of the stuff that I do. So I had to start convincing myself, like, no. 30 minutes is plenty of time. If you walk in, you foam roll, you do a dynamic warm-up, get your heart rate up, and then you pick 4 exercises, do that in a circuit 4 times. The circuit should only take you 15 minutes. You're done. You can cool down and be done. And those are some of my best workouts because they're no nonsense. I can't be on my phone. I can't be fumbling for music. It's literally like I set up my station. I pick my 5 exercises. I hit the clock and I'm like, cool, go. 45 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 4 rounds, done. and it's really effective, but we convince ourselves that we need to have all this time and rest time because we only think of like the bodybuilding style workouts that we created, and we forget that like, no, there's other ways to effective workouts. Or again, some people are like, oh, you know, I have to be starting to sweat. Like, this is true, like, black girl struggle. A lot of times you get your hair done and you're like, well, I don't want to sweat at the gym. I don't want to sweat. I don't want to sweat my edges out. So I guess I'm not going to work out.
Right.
But, you know, you can still work out. You just have to be a little more creative. Like, maybe that's not the day for you to circuit train. Maybe you just need to sit at the machine, do a couple rows, take a break, do a couple pull-ups, take a break. You can be more strategic. It's not an excuse to be like, don't work out. Like, yeah, maybe it's not the best time to run 3 miles, but maybe you could walk to the grocery store. That's not going to put your hair out.
Exactly.
So active.
Exactly. Again, make it individualistic to you. To you. I'm gonna add.
You
know what? I'm gonna add my last point, which is it's simple, it's basic. Consistency is key. There you go. If you're not consistent, I don't care what type of program. I don't care what type of protein. It doesn't matter.
It's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter. It's just you can go out and be like, yeah, I got it all. I got all my program down. I'm ready to do this. And go to the gym once. And then be like, yeah, I'm going to go in 2 weeks. What? And then I'm going to go back and go for 3 days straight. And then I'm not gonna go. You no, that's not the type of...
And the mom would say, you're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Yes. That's not the type of muscle confusion that we're talking about. That's
and
just don't do that. Don't. You know what? I'm going to say something that a friend of mine told me after they lost somebody very close to them. Time is precious. Don't fuck up your time. Don't do that. You know, if you're really serious about it, take these principles that we gave you today and use them so that you can get yourself to that level to get the results you want. All right? These are things that you can manage, that are easy, and again, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You've got resources. The podcast is a resource. You know, Brittany's podcast is a resource. Shameless plug on Brittany's podcast, which is coming soon. I mean,
Thank you.
You know, these are the resources. Go to a gym. Go find a trainer. Many trainers you can email. Many trainers. That's you can email Brittany. You can email Brittany. You can email me. But many...
I might not answer, but you can email me. I'm totally joking.
You know what? I will answer. All jokes aside, most physical trainers will respond back to you because this is what we do. This is what we like doing. You know, if a trainer is not passionate about this, if this is not their purpose, I don't know why they're there. You know, very much so. So please take these principles, use them, and make yourselves better. Don't make it so hard. It's not that difficult. And if you're at a spot when you need help, find the people that are willing to help. Some of them you're listening to right here. So with that, we're going to get ready to exit out. And we wish you nothing but the best. Be safe. Be healthy. Be kind to yourself. And peace.
So as always, I'd like to thank our guest, Brittany Noel, for coming to the podcast and bringing that energy and that fun. You know, anytime her and I get together, it's ridiculous. It really is. And I hope everybody was able to take something positive away from the conversation that we had. We dove into many different parts of weight loss, and just after a while, it seemed like there was a little bit of just... I'm not going to front. We were somewhat venting at the same time. We were talking about this conversation because the truth of it is, this is a very serious conversation. that many people have brought up to us. Myself being a trainer, Brittany being a trainer, and other friends and associates who are trainers. These are the common things that we hear. And the reason we speak on this topic the way we speak on it is because we want you to hear it in the way that we are hearing it. Nothing that we spoke of today, or nothing that we said was meant to be little anybody or was meant to make anybody feel bad. We want everybody out there that's listening to kind of feel and understand just what's going on. You know, when you're coming to a person and you're asking a question, be prepared to actually slow down and hear the answer. You know, or maybe it's perhaps the way you're formulating the question. Many people, when they come to physical trainers or anybody who is a professional and they're looking for answers, they don't always know how to phrase the question. So, or don't always know particularly what to ask. So, if anything, I hope you can take away that's positive is those 4 principles, as well as how and what your question is and what is it that you want. Really focus on what it is that you want as a whole. Many people, because of what they see on Instagram and other social media platforms, they get stuck into what other people are doing. Figure out what you want to do. If you want to lose weight, that's fine. If you want to get ripped or jacked or whatever common muscle term that's used out there, that's fine. If you want to bulk up or gain more muscle mass, that's all fine. But understand what's really going on. Ask the people that can help you, do research, really figure out what you want to do for yourself. Because many things invoke many different sciences. And science, although I'm sure many people out there will be like, it's not that specific. Science is specific. That's why it's a science. But we are individuals and everything works individually different for different individuals. That's why you can have a man or a woman lift weights and have them become strong using different protocols, using different type of programs. That's why you can have a woman who is a gymnast look like she is a bodybuilder, only doing gymnastics or calisthenics. And you can have another woman who lifts weights, you know, and she develops a body that's just as flexible and agile as a person who is a gymnast. You know, it's individual. And every one of these protocols, every one of these sciences and systems is just that. People don't just create them just to think off the top of their head like, oh, I should create something. Everything is specific because we are very individualistic. We're all different. Everything has the possibility of working. Another thing another thing or part of it is give it time to work. Don't just jump from one thing to the other. Don't program hop. You want to really give something time to work. Once you give it time to work, then you can assess, did this really have the effect that I wanted to have? Did I really accomplish my goal? Take it apart, but don't take it apart beforehand. You've got to be patient. Patience is also a key when it comes to success in any platform, in any type of institution, in any type of situation. You must be patient. Nothing is done overnight. If you gained weight, you didn't gain weight overnight. If you're trying to gain muscle and strength, it doesn't happen overnight. Nothing does. No athlete that you've ever seen just became the person that they are overnight. It took years and years of hammering and chiseling and developing those synapses and that nervous system, as well as those muscle memory responses. So it seems as though they do what they do so effortlessly because they've hammered it into their bodies. It's a part of who they are. No different than if you're a soldier, if you're a fighter, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're an artist. People do these things over and over again, so at some point their muscles, their bodies just take it over. And they don't even have to really think about it. So if you want to accomplish your goals, if you want to lose weight, if you want to be the person that you want to be, You're going to have to think of it the same way. Whatever it is that you do so well, whatever it is that you do in your job that you don't even think about, you're going to have to develop that same type of patience and consistency with losing weight or gaining muscle mass. It's just that simple. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in this week. I hope you had a beautiful holiday. I hope you had a beautiful day. I hope this is a beautiful day for you. As always, if you want to contact us about any particular topic or question, feel free. You can call in, or you can also hit us up at daylafit13@gmail.com, or go to our website, which is www.daylafitpodcast.com. We are on Instagram at DE_LA_Fit Podcasts. We're also on Facebook at De La Fit Podcast. So if you want to reach out, you can contact us. We are there. Please ask us a question. Hit us up. As always, I hope you continue to build up, make yourself better, progress, and don't forget to love yourself. Treat yourself good. If you do that, you'll do that for others. We are a family. This is the village, and each one teach one. As always, be safe, be loved, peace.
You've been listening to the De La Fit podcast. Ta-ta for now.